Alright guys, I'm having phone issues at the moment, but here's a quick update for you guys. So, my car decided to have another major issue. So, and I swear it's always like, I always have car issues at like the worst time. So my transmission, I got a message as I was driving home today that there was a transmission fault and I needed to get my car serviced immediately. And then my car honestly started shaking and just did not feel safe to drive. So I start my new job tomorrow, and now I have to be, I'm not even gonna say I have to be stressed, but I have to be like, it's just like an additional thing on my plate, right? So my dad said I could use his the Civic, which was my old car, to go to work tomorrow because I'm starting a new job. Like I can't afford to not go to my new job before I even started having my car break down, and it's probably going to be something expensive. So on top of me having to pay my fine, trying to save up, trying to pay off debt, and now I have another major car issue. That I don't know how much it's gonna cost. I still haven't been able to afford to get my AC fixed, and that was only supposed to cost me $300. So it's just an additional. Like I said, it's just, I swear these issues always come at the worst time. And I'm just like, I'm basically going to either have to ask my dad help to pay for whatever is wrong with it again. Or, I don't know. My credit is horrible because I'm behind on so many payments because I haven't been making enough at my job to really pay off my bills. I'm contemplating at this point filing bankruptcy because I just feel like there's no way I am going to. I think like I've just hit a level where it's just like I have too much debt that even once I start my job and start making money, I just feel like I'm still going to be overwhelmed trying to just pay off debt and car issues, and I'm like, I just can't afford it anymore. And I think like I watched a TikTok video, and I know people say don't get your information off TikTok, but pretty much a lot of people were commenting how bankruptcy helped them kind of filing for bankruptcy allowed them to like reset their credit score. So I've had a credit card since I was 17, 18, so for 10 years, and I feel like no matter how many times I tried to get myself out of that credit card debt, it always just like, it's like a never-ending cycle. So like even though I have credit card payments on long-term payoff plans, I can't even afford those right now. So I honestly think filing bankruptcy might be the best option for me at this point, even though I think it's just like people are always scared to do it, but it's pretty much, it's not like it's a get out of jail free card. It's more like a reset. Like you have to like restart your credit history, and it's easier to do that after filing bankruptcy than trying to pay off credit card debt from like years and years and years, and you're still trying to pay off interest, and it's going to take you 5 years based off of the payment. So like the payment, like that's what I usually do. I will do like a long-term payment plan where I have 5 years making like a very small monthly amount, but it's just like you're still like, it's hard to get out of debt and then you're stuck with that for 5 years. basically. And so, I don't know. I think it might be the best option. And, filing bankruptcy also will mean I won't be able to use any forms of credit, which I actually think is good for me because I'm not good with credit cards. And I really just don't want to have any more credit cards at this point. And it's so overwhelming constantly like drowning in credit card debt. And like at this point I just feel like because I've already fallen so far behind, and then you're getting late payment fees and you're getting all of these like negative things on your credit, I'm like, it's worth it to have, file bankruptcy, be, in a tough spot maybe, or just like have 2 years where I can't apply for credit basically, and I have to survive without credit and build my savings knowing I don't have to pay off credit card bills. I feel like that would be more beneficial to me than trying to spend the next however many years of my life trying to pay off the debt. And so I guess this can be the video where I go over how much I owe, which I don't even know. Like, I haven't looked at I haven't looked at my debt in so long. I also have to pay back my sister who helped me pay off 2 of my credit cards. I have to pay back my mom for helping me pay my fine. It's just like I owe more money than I freaking make, and it's frustrating. And I'm tired of having like, I feel like I'm just in like a never ending cycle where it's just like I can't get out of this and I don't know how. I mean, I thought about like you can do debt consolidation, which is basically you pay a smaller amount each month towards you're taking out a loan to pay off your debt, and then you're paying off the loan. And sometimes it's better because you can get lower interest, but I'm just like, I just don't think I want to. And of course, you like, in order to file bankruptcy, I think it's like $1,500 is what I've seen. You have to get a lawyer. I don't know how to do it myself. I think you can pay the filing fee of $150, but most people get a lawyer to make sure, I guess, it gets processed and approved, because I guess not anyone can file for bankruptcy, Chapter 7, whatever it is. But I'm 28 years old at this point. If I go ahead and file it now, I will be far ahead by the time I'm 30, because at least I won't have, it's just like I need a fresh start basically. Like, clearly, I don't know. That honestly though might be my best option. And I just don't know what's going to happen with my new job, and I just feel like I have this debt hanging over my head. And that's not even talking about student loans. That's just this. And so, I don't know, another car problem I can't afford is not something I'm looking forward to. And having like, I just have a lot on my plate. Still have to do my community service. I just don't even know if my goal was to have that completed by this month, and that's probably not going to happen because I have to get pretty much 40 more hours done in 2 weeks. And unless I can do 20 hours a week, it's just not going to happen. I am just very overwhelmed, and I feel like nothing I do is ever right sometimes. I don't know. And I'm not blaming other people. Obviously, I have no one to blame but myself for getting myself into this situation. And that's just being honest. But I just feel like I need a fresh start. Like, the constant borrowing money to pay off all of these things, I just feel like I can't do it anymore. And I hope, like I said, I'm starting another job that's hopefully will be better than my current one. I just have so much, honestly, PTSD from my current place that I'm like, I don't want to get my hopes up that this job is going to work out for me. And so I'm just like hoping, but not fully like convinced. And then even though I'm starting this job, it's still going to be like a good 2 weeks before I get my first paycheck. And I'm like, I need to save. I need to save as much as I can because my living situation, my dad basically is just waiting to get his clearance to move, basically, is what he told me. So once he's get his clearance is when he's going to actually be moving. And originally I was trying to get like a roommate to stay here, but it seems like that's no longer an option. Like, my dad basically made it seem like I still need to get my own place, or I could move to his new house, which is like an hour and a half for me, and I would have to start all over again. And I really don't want to do that either. I'm just tired of having to depend on other people. Like, I just want to be self-sufficient and not have to rely on other people to have things. I want to be able to afford my bills, and a big reason why I can't is because of the debt I created for myself. I just remember I watched this girl's video and she was talking about her budget, and I'm like, you make $13 an hour part-time, and her paycheck, now I'm not gonna lie, even though she is making less money an hour, her paychecks were better than mine. So it just goes to show, like, sometimes, and I talked about this in another video, making less money an hour but having more hours, you make more money. So, like, I make 18 an hour right now, but her paycheck was higher than mine because for the past 6 months, I barely even get 15 hours a week. And 15 hours a week times 18 an hour is like less than 300, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, it's $270 a week is what I was getting before taxes, and I wasn't even getting that because I wasn't getting my 15 hours. So, you can be making less an hour but making more money. And I will say, like, working at Amazon, I was making 15 an hour and I was making more money than I am now at 18. So it's just like, I'm trying to make sure I have a full-time hour position so that I can afford my bills, even though I know it's draining working 40 hours a week. But you gotta do, so you have to, I'm not lazy and to the point where it's like I don't want to work. I've never said I don't want to work or I don't want a job. I just feel like I need a job that actually pays enough for me to afford things, but I also need to be better at managing my money. And I do think, like, a big part of my issues is not managing my money well. Also, I will say this, not making enough money is a problem. Like, that adds to the problem. But I'm like, if you managed a little money well, I would be better. If I managed the little money I was making better, I would probably still be in a better position than I am right now. So it's just like, you really have to just live below your means. And I feel like I am someone who's always been I wouldn't even say I spend above my means for sure. Like, I'm spending more money than I can afford to spend because of using credit and Klarna and Sezzle and ZipPay and all of those things that pretty much allow me to spend money I don't have on things I don't need. And then on top of like not making I'm not making the amount of money I need to make to afford my own place. So it's just like, if I managed the little bit of money I was making better, I would be in a better position. I would still have the debt that I have, I would say, but I also would have less debt than I currently have. So I know I'm the problem in a lot of my problems, and I think people always assume like I'm blaming everyone else for my problems, when I've said multiple times like I have to be better at this and I have to be better like that. Like, I take accountability all the time for my actions and the consequences of my actions. So it's annoying sometimes when people consistently try to act like I'm just blaming everyone else for my problems, because no, I'm not. But sometimes you're the problem, but you don't know how to be the solution, and I feel like that's my biggest problem. Like, I recognize I'm the problem, but I also don't know how to be my own solution, because I continue failing at saving and not spending. So I really don't know. I really don't know, guys. But like I said, we're just gonna continue with the opportunities that I have, see how this job works out, hope that I'll be getting hours closer to full time, um so that I'm actually making enough to support myself, figure out what my options are as far as my debt. I don't know if I want to do a debt consolidation or if I should just file bankruptcy and have that pause on getting new credit for 2 years, which I think honestly wouldn't be the worst thing for me. I don't want to have credit cards. I don't need to have credit cards because I'm not good at managing having credit. I overspend, and then spending more than I can afford to pay off, and just like um you know, it's just not something that I want to do anymore. And I'm trying to really learn to be better at managing my money, but I have a lot of what's that word? It starts with an I. Impulsive. I have compulsive, impulsive. I guess those are like similar. They mean about the same thing. I have a compulsive shopping, so I buy things without really thinking about it most of the time, and that puts me in a bad place. But I just don't want to be bad at money for the rest of my life. Like, I want to be able to make good and smart financial decisions for myself, and have like self-control when it comes to my spending, because you have to learn how to do that for yourself. Like, that's why I'm like, I know I'd said before, like, I would want my mom to help me manage it, but my mom's can't be I can't depend on my mom to manage everything for me so that I can get out of debt or whatever. I have to be able to do it for myself and learn to be disciplined myself. So I don't know how to do that right now. Maybe I just need to start small. But currently, I feel like I'm just not in a really good position to really do anything. I also know too, if I were to file for bankruptcy, that I would need to have a apartment already, because after you file bankruptcy, basically you can't, like, your credit score is basically like zero, non-existent. So, and then it will be way harder to get a place. So I would need to have like a place to live secured before I do that. But I don't know. I definitely am leaning towards that because I think it will benefit me more than it hurts me, especially because I feel like I want to be able to just restart my credit history without all the mistakes I've made in the past, and also the ones I've currently made. I guess, as they say, you live and you learn, and some lessons are you have to learn the hard way. And I feel like I learn, but then it's just like you go back to like things that you know you shouldn't do, and or you just fall back into bad habits. And I feel like my spending habits are something that I've had for so long that it's just like it's a part of your daily routine. But I'm like, I really need to have control over my spending because it's not putting me in a good position. And I also feel like I'm not getting anywhere closer to my savings goals. So again, I will give it like a good month or so at my job and see what my paychecks are looking like. Hopefully, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about my car. Like, again, it's a lot to deal with. Having those car freaking problems, they always come, in my opinion, at the worst times. And then I end up throwing all this money I don't have or can't afford to lose at this car. But I guess I have to have a car, and I don't want to have a car payment. I keep reading how some people are paying like $700 a month for car payments, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's rent for some people. $700 a month just for a car is asinine. Like, I'm grateful I paid cash. I own my car outright. I have the title. I don't have to worry about, it being repossessed ever. But yeah. Overall, guys, I'm just getting... Not this man had a baby. Sorry. I just opened my Instagram app, and this person I followed, I did not know was having a baby on the way. So he must not have been showing it. Because how did no one know? I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. I feel like that's what a lot of people, they be hiding stuff until the last minute. Anyways, that's it for the life update. I really just hope I like my new job. I hope things work out. I really, really, really hope so. But there's not a great track record of things working out for me, so I don't want to get my hopes too high and be disappointed again.